you mentioned the questioning of Brett Kavanaugh. My favorite questioning, then Senator Harris's questioning, was of then Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who got so flummoxed, to use your word, Dan, that the then AG said, "You're making me nervous." Dan, you covered the Democratic National Convention for the Freeport Journal-Standard in 1968. And that's a time that today's election has been compared with. You've covered many presidential campaigns since. Where does this campaign, the 2024 campaign, fit into history for you?
Well, I mean, this is a historic campaign by any measure. And it's one of the most, as we now know, one of the most interesting campaigns. It's historically significant because of the stakes that are involved in this election year, and we've known that from the very beginning. I mean, this is a very, very consequential election. What direction is America going to take in 2024? Is it going to go back to Donald Trump and all that means for the future of the country, or is it going to turn a page? Now, as long as it was Trump versus Biden, this was not a future-oriented campaign. This was going to be a backward-looking campaign in one way or another. Vice President Harris, being the nominee, flips that script completely. So this is now future versus past. The other aspect of this is the elements of surprise in this election. Just, I mean, as you were saying, when we were here 2 weeks ago, everything that has happened since then, you know, I don't know if we're going to have surprises of any magnitude like that between now and November.
Are you trying to tempt the gods? I mean, poor Tyler's face is like, please no.
We haven't even gotten our...
Tyler will be on top of it no matter what happens, as will Leanne. I'm confident of that. You know, it's hard to compare one campaign to another. 68 and this year, you know, people kind of lump them together in part because Democrats are going back to Chicago. They're, you know, in that campaign, LBJ pulled out, decided he would not seek a second term. That happened so much earlier in the cycle than the decision by President Biden. But nonetheless, there are some parallels. A country divided in 68, a country divided this time, you know, 2 assassinations in 1968, an assassination attempt this time. 68 stands uniquely, I think, in the annals of our politics particularly because of everything that happened that year. That year alone was such a wrenching year. So, but you get into these campaigns and each one is so fascinating in and of itself, and I think this one is proving to be even more so than we thought.